What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to basketball, and more importantly, welcome back to another prospect breakdown video. Today, we've got Cedric Coward. I don't actually have his team page pulled up because I can't seem to locate it. I'm not sure why it doesn't exist anymore. But anyway, we have got Washington State Cedric Coward. This is an interesting one because he just recently said, "Nope, I am staying in the draft." So I decided, okay, he is going to get a video then because he's almost certainly going to be a first-round pick. So I say we start diving into him. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through some of his numbers. We're going to talk about the story a little bit. We're going to watch some film on the guy, and at the very end, we're going to throw him on our ever-expanding big board that we've been building throughout this series. But hey, before we go and do that, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment. I've responded to every single comment to my YouTube channel up to this point, and I intend to keep on doing so. As always, show this particular video and the other Do They Fit in the NBA videos some love, just because they're always demonetized, unfairly so, and so the only reason I really post them is because I like doing them and you guys seem to like them. So if they keep getting love, then cool, they keep coming out. Also, Ideal Offseason is out, the best series on this channel by far. Go show it some love. But anyway, let's go watch some or talk about some Cedric Coward. Cedric Coward, 6'6", senior, coming from Washington State. So kind of an interesting situation with him, right? This guy only played in 6 basketball games last season before getting injured, and then he was out for the year, right? Then he hits the transfer portal. He says, yep, I'm going to Duke. He's got a nice Duke offer on the table, and he shows up to the combine anyway, which is pretty common. I'd say if you get a combine invite, even if you don't intend on going, you just go for the sake of, and you say like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to stay or go, right? Because you want to get feedback. You want to get feedback from the scouts, people like me that'll say, hey, I'd feel a lot better if I could see this in your game, if I could see this in your game. And then you can go back to college and go try to implement a lot of that stuff. It's a really valuable resource, right? And so he goes in and he's like, hey, let me show you guys, because I feel like I was going to have a pretty gnarly season this year. Like, let me show you guys what I got. And he stood out in a lot of the combine scrimmages and stuff. He was definitely one of the more aggressive guys out there. And look, I don't always want to be the one to like pull down the veil and everything. Us scouts really don't care about like the points you score in like a combine scrimmage or anything. Like those scuffed games are just kind of a nothing thing. It's just a way for us to see you moving around playing basketball, right? It's like, okay, how does he look light on his feet? Like, how does his handle kind of look here? Like, let me just see the jump shot in action, right? It's mostly like watching drills, but you're kind of playing with some other people as well. So it's just kind of the view that we take of those things. And look, we've seen all the film on these guys at this point, right? So it's just nice to see them in person, see how big they are, things like that. But hey, he definitely stood out. And then some people are like, oh, he moves just like Kawhi Leonard. And because he's the bright, shiny new thing that we haven't been talking about all season, the hype kind of builds, right? And so how much do we actually like Cedric Coward, right? Because just because there is kind of this psychological effect that's going to make him more interesting compared to some other people, doesn't mean that he's not actually interesting, right? And so I've obviously had the pleasure to see all of these guys kind of at this point, and I've watched all the film on these guys that I can really watch at this point. There's still work to be done before the draft, but I've sat down with scouts at this point. I've talked it through with a lot of people. I've turned in a lot of my reports on people, and again, now it's just kind of, I'm at this stage of the season where we're just kind of figuring out who we're gonna pick, right? So that's kind of what's going on for me. So I've seen all this film already, but I'm still gonna break it down for you guys just so that we can kind of see what are people getting curious about, because I think he is an interesting basketball player. It's just, you know, how much do we value this guy? So let's take a look at the stats, right? So again, 6 basketball games this last season at Washington State. He was at Eastern Washington before that. And what you'll see is in his 6 games, again, only 6 games, 17.7 points per game. That's awesome. 3.7 assists to 2.2 turnovers. Pretty good for positional thing for his position. 1.7 blocks per game. That's really high positionally. 83, almost 84% from the free throw line. 5 free throw attempts per game. Again, small sample size, but that's really, really good. 40%. That's a career high for him at 5 3-point attempts a game, and a 50, almost 6% field goal percentage. Pretty dang elite, right? All around elite, and that's really, really cool. Again, small sample size, right? And especially in like out of conference games, they could have been playing against people not as good or maybe too good. It's there's a lot of factors that go into play. But the point is, dude's been a bucket for a while. I mean, you look throughout his whole career, like dude's been a sniper his whole time, and that's what a lot of people are interested in, right? You see this 6'6" guy that's pretty well built, that shoots the shit out of the basketball, that's instantly gonna make you a little bit curious, and he's not a bad athlete either. So how do we want to look at Cedric Coward? What are we hoping for him, right? Well, the highest that I've seen people talk about him is like a late lottery pick, right? And I think it's fair to assess like expectations for what like a late lottery pick should look like, right? When you're in the NBA, right, and you're looking to draft some of these guys, obviously, if you're picking at the top end of the draft, you're hoping to get an all-star, right? That's kind of what you're hoping for. As you progress down to the back end of the lottery, you're just hoping you can get like some sort of role player or some guy like that. Obviously, if there's potential to become there's always potential to become a star, but that's kind of where expectations lie. So what we're looking for in a guy that could potentially go as high as late lottery is we'd like to see, hey, can this guy play NBA minutes for us right away, right? That's kind of the expectation. And I always say in these videos, it's a lot harder to tell how good someone's going to be coming in from like NCAA college stuff rather than overseas to the NBA, because the games are so different. I know you guys, if you've been watching this series at all, know where I'm going with this stuff, but I just like to reiterate it because a lot of my audience is new for each video. But college basketball, it's a lot different. There's just a lot different schemes and things that happen in the game that just wouldn't happen at the NBA level. There's going to be things that they let him do at Washington State that just we probably wouldn't let him do in the NBA. So those are just kind of the things to look out for with this. We kind of have to take a critical look at him to be like, hey, these skills that he has, is this really what translates to the NBA, or is he going to be asked to do something different? And then how good is he going to be at those things, right? So that's kind of what we're going to look for out of him today. And again, we've only got 6 games, so all we're really going to do is we're just going to watch and see like what can this guy do in his 6 games, because I'm not going to bring up any like the camp film or anything like that. I just don't really think that that's worth it to kind of define his game more so, because again, it's just kind of scuffed basketball more so than anything else. So we're gonna watch like all of his makes from this season, because it's really not that many overall, right? And we're just gonna see like, okay, what is this guy capable of in a basketball game, in like a true basketball game, and we'll evaluate him from there. But anyway, let's hop into the film. Alrighty, so time for the film breakdown. And again, we're just going to be looking at makes today because there's just not that much film to go off of for this guy anyway. So we just want to know, like, hey, what is this guy capable of? Because he is a bit of a mystery man, right? Just hasn't played basketball in a little bit. It's totally fine. Like, what is this guy truly capable of if we throw him on the basketball court? So we're going to be watching all of his makes over the last 6 games. I'm going to be pausing, rewinding a lot as always, because YouTube, this is transformative content. Please don't knock it down. I know you're going to knock it down, but I'm just asking you. I don't own the rights to any of these clips. I said it in the video. Look, I'm not claiming it, right? But whatever. It's whatever. So yeah, let's watch some film. This should be a fun one for me, considering I like to talk about the jumper so much. All right, so he's right here, number 0. Let's see, instantly, like, lengthy dude, right? I look at his arms, they're pretty long, legs are pretty long. That's cool in and of itself always, right? Like, do I really care about this measurement versus this measurement that much, and do scouts really care about it that much? Not a ton. Like, it's always nice to be longer, right? You can just do more with it. So something to think about here. All right, here we go. Catch right here. First jumper. This is what I like to take a second to really break down for those of you new to the channel. When I was doing player development, my big specialty was like shooting and teaching the correct mechanics for all that stuff. So I like to break this stuff down just a little bit more. So right off the bat, feet are a good length apart right here. I like that he's pretty balanced between the 2 feet. It's maybe a little bit off with the right foot versus the left foot, but the feet are facing the right direction. He's a right-handed shooter, so we want his feet 45 degrees to the left over here. That kind of helps the ball follow from the shooting pocket up past like your right shoulder, past your right eye, get it up and high. So let's see how this one goes. Notice how he jumps together right here. We want people to jump together because that allows you to go straight up and down. If you jump together, that's the only way you can go, right? Is straight up and down. So very cool. It looks like he kind of pulls that left arm away a little bit early, which is kind of a European thing to do at times. So that's a good looking jumper, and just that one right here. All right, we're bringing the ball up the court now. This is going to be an interesting one, right? Because something that people were curious about is just like in the way he moves and like dribbles a basketball, it does resemble like Kawhi Leonard a lot. And he was pretty ball dominant at the combine, which again, he's out there to prove something, right? Because he hasn't played basketball in a while. So he's like, yeah, give me the basketball. It makes total sense, right? Why wouldn't you do that? Especially because like the offer that Duke had out for him, from what I understand, was a little over like $3 million or something like that. So he basically was telling people, and I was a part of these conversations as well, like from his agent and stuff like that. They're like, hey, if we don't get a promise that he's going to end up at least this draft position or higher, I'm not going to break any news by saying like specifically anything else, and this is all pretty common knowledge, but just basically, hey, if he doesn't go this draft spot or higher, because, you know, NBA draft positions get a certain amount of, like, predetermined money, then he's just going to go back to college because he'd rather just have the money and go play at Duke or something like that. So, presuming that he's still staying in the draft, I mean, somebody promised him, right? But anyway, back to the dribbling stuff, like, the fact that he was so ball dominant there, that's something that people are going to be curious about. Is that something that he's going to do at the NBA level? My initial reaction, and again, I've seen all the film, is that that's probably not what he's going to be asked to do at an NBA level. Maybe it is long term or something, and maybe that's the project you want to start building on. But overall, I think it's going to be the shooting that's really interesting for him. So here we go. We're putting the ball on the ground. All right, we're trying to navigate a zone right here. Catch instantly. Body looks really balanced. Maybe the left knee's bent in just a little bit here, but I like the stance already. He goes straight up and down, jumps together. This is picture perfect right here. Like, and I mean, like we said, he's never had a bad shooting season in his life apparently, and it's like really good shooting. So looks like he's going to be a shooter. Give me those. That's mine. I'm running. Doesn't see the other guy with him, but that's okay. Not a ton of elevation there. Totally cool. Here we go. We're off. We're off. Also, he's playing against his former team here, which is kind of cool. I didn't peep that originally. All right, catch. All right, I love that he jumps into the shot right here. I think that's really, really cool. The ball looks like it's maybe a little bit more on his left side than I'd like it, because based off where he's holding it right now, his right arm here has to be moved over a little bit to stay underneath it. So just a little bit of something there, but I mean, the jumper, like, overall is pretty damn pure. So just small things that I tweak, right? Just because you're a good shooter doesn't mean you don't tweak your jumper a little bit. Here we go. This is interesting, seeing him in the middle of this zone. They look like they have no idea how to break this, right? They look like they have no clue what they want to do. All right, so you just, man, college basketball, it just pisses me off. How do you not know how to break a 3-2 zone by the time you get to college? I just don't understand that. Like, what are we teaching kids nowadays? I don't understand. All right, here we go. Here we go. Give him the basketball. Smooth jumper. It's so smooth. It looks really good. Here we go. Here we go. Really interesting defense here. Can we see this again? So, why is he standing right here? Like, what is he trying to do? I know we're watching Coward, but like, what is Big Homie doing here, sliding back out? I don't. He just decided to guard nobody and leave this guy wide out. How they didn't see this guy too, even with this guy in front of him, I don't know. It's my bad. He was in the right spot. Okay, I'll shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. All right, cool. Travel low key. Hey, going up with the left. Yeah. That's the dunk everyone sees, and they're like, whoa, off vert, goes up, kind of really palms the ball. Clearly got some big hands on him. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Big hands will help you shoot, man. Here we go, they're pressing. 8 is not a quick decision maker, man. 8 is not a quick decision maker. And here's something you guys have to remember when you're evaluating these guys too, because I know this pertains a lot, especially to like Ace and Dylan coming out of like Rutgers, right? Because I see a lot of people being like, oh, those two take a lot of bad shots and everything. And it's like, yeah, but you have to remember who they're playing with at times. Like, it's not exactly elite level talent, and I can promise you it's just not that great a talent at all. And look, Washington State's not exactly like a premier team in college basketball, and clearly you can just see by some of the behaviors here, it's just not the best. All right. Here we go. It's just good context for when you're scouting people, right? Because sometimes they're like, oh, well, they had to take this shot or whatever. So if we see him maybe take a bad shot or something, it might be like, okay, this team clearly doesn't know how to play much offense, so that could be part of it. Here we go, here we go, good re-space. He's not exactly moving around the court much when he doesn't have the basketball, and again, this is the context I'm talking about. I'm leading myself into this, right? this team's not doing anything offensively, right? Nothing. And so he's just kind of floating around doing that. And so while we'd like to see him do some off-ball stuff, right, and some off-ball movement, because that would give us a sense as to what he can do in the NBA, right? Washington State's not doing it. They're just running around trying to figure out how to beat whatever this is. So, all right, let's just screen again and see if anything different happens. Make this pass. Here we go. And he's just better than them. Cool. It's not a very complicated move, but he gets it. Cool, 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 cool. Going up against Northern Colorado now. I know the staff there pretty well. Cool people. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, look at this little floppy play, which was executed really poorly. I don't know how you execute that so poorly. But here we go. Here we go. What are they doing here? Oh, my Lord. It's so hard to watch college basketball sometimes. All right, cool. He just kind of found himself getting open. Again, nice jump shot. We know he can shoot the basketball. That's great. Here we go. Give me that. I'm stronger than you. Great. Good job. That's what we expect out of a senior. I didn't mention it earlier either, but, like, you expect the senior level dudes. Like, I could go back and watch his junior year film and stuff like that. Like, his game's pretty well solidified at this point in his career, right? So we kind of don't need to. I believe he comes from Division III basketball originally, doesn't he? If I remember correctly. But he's just kind of, like, worked his way up, which is really cool to see, right? There's always people that are missed, right? And he's just one of those guys. So kind of cool. But yeah. Let's see. What's going on here? Good little move. Come over the top. There we go. But yeah, we expect the senior to be very well, like, disciplined. We expect the game to look slow to him. It looks slow there. Cool. Let's go. Give me this basketball. There we go. Cool. Yeah, so, like, you're not seeing, like, elite speed or, like, quickness or anything like that. No crazy handle, but just kind of a well-refined senior player. He's stronger than these guys. Smart. Knows how to use his weight right there. That's cool. Awesome. Like, this college basketball, just like, what's going on here? So we got a guy posting up. This pisses me off to no end. Have y'all ever played pickup basketball and you try to post someone up and then someone tries to post up right next to you? I understand he has a small guy on him right here, but just get out of the way. Like, he can't do anything here, and this is such a hard pass because of, like, this right here. And then he tricks it anyway, little dumbass. I'm going to be a little bit mean in these videos sometimes. I'm sorry. Here we go. Nothing crazy handle-wise right here. Just a lot of spin moves. Very DeMar DeRozan-esque stuff right here. Like, and that's fine. Like, that's long-term stuff you can do in the NBA. But they also, in the NBA, there's not many guys that they allow to do that. And Cedric Coward, day one, is not going to be allowed to do that in the NBA, right? So that's why it's like, man, it'd be nice to see some more off-ball stuff for him, because there's not enough, like, ball handling and, like, quickness and good footwork to say you should be able to do this in the NBA. What we're going to have him do, because he's such a good shooter, is come off of ball screens and stuff like that, and hopefully be a good defender, which, you know, we're not watching any defensive clips here, but from everything I've watched, because I've watched every second of film on this guy at this point, like, I think it's fine. Like, I don't think it's anything to, like, write home about, but I think it's competent, and, like, yeah, he'll probably struggle in the NBA right away, because every rookie does to an extent. But I wouldn't be, like, worried about him defensively long term. I think he could be fine there. So just wanted to throw that in for context. These, like, this, like, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? All right, here, really good-looking jumper there. That was, like, perfect form. Very cool, very cool. This looks like Ron Baker right here. Oh, my God. Good Lord. All right, here we go. This guy's like, I got it. I'm bringing the ball up the court. All me, all me. Here we go. Here we go. Perfect. Good stuff. He gets a bad pass, but the form is beautiful. Good stuff, Cedric. Here we go. Oh, God, this is some gross basketball being played right now. Here we go. All right, 3, can you give the ball up, bro? You do not look like you should be doing this stuff either. They're going to run a similar play here. Like, there's no purpose to anywhere that anyone's going right now, and that's what's annoying. And the things that, again, we wish we could see is, like, okay, like, is he reading the offense well? Is he reading, like, the options on going around screens and stuff well? And that's just stuff that we don't know very well, and that's really hard for us to tell. And so that's why, like, the in-person workouts and just understanding, like, hey, how quickly does he, like, pick up on certain things, right? That's going to be important for him to be, or for teams to be like, hey, what do we do? All right, double post-ups again. Cool. Doesn't happen in the NBA. Here we go. Here we go. Cool. Give me that. Let's take off. Let's take off. Everyone get out the way. Get out the way. Dribbling the ball up the court. Here we go. Right back into the back down again. Again, probably not something we're going to let you do in the NBA. Cool. At least the spacing was better on that play. Awesome. Good move. Why was 4 on the ground? What was going on there? Give him the basketball. Cool. Thank you, number 3, for realizing that's your best player. Here we go. Don't set that screen. Don't set that screen. Yep, that's exactly what he's saying. That's not the switch we want here. Here we go. Here we go. All right, and we attack. Great. Again, not great quickness. No elite ball handling. Pretty poor defense overall, but hey, you got the bucket. Cool, cool. Let's go. Catch. What are we doing? All right, really bad defense here. Whatever. Catch this basketball. Yep, slow it down. We got time. It doesn't matter anyway. All right, here we go. Cross. Go back into the back down again. Nope. Okay, give it back to him. Oh, why? No repost. Interesting. Here we go. Really good dead dribble. That jump shot is perfect. Awesome. Yeah, that's a pro move, all right. They're just not going to let him do it at the pro. Look at John Deere in the middle of the court. John Deere. All right, comment to the video. If you can fit John Deere into your comment somehow, I'll know you've been watching this whole thing. I just like to do that every once in a while. Here we go. Here we go. I'd love to see some funny John Deere quotes. Let's go. No offense being run whatsoever. He's just kind of standing in the corner. All right, catch the basketball. Here we go. Pretty basic. Tough, though. Really good balance. We like the balance. Let's go. Just, was that supposed to be a lob? I can't exactly tell. Here we go. Here we go. Are we going to see anything interesting? Nope, goes right back into the back down, which, like, fair enough. Like, this is tough basketball. It really is. Doesn't really go anywhere. Give it back to him. Try again. I'm bigger and stronger than you. Cool. Cool. Again, not going to get to do it at the NBA level, but, like, tough-ass shot. Here we go. Here we go. Let's watch. Let's watch. Let's watch. Here we go. Swing corner. Good screen by 3. All right, they don't see the swing pass there. Nothing's happening. It's just kind of triangle offense right now, which is interesting. That jumper is so good looking, though. That jumper is so good looking, though. We're here for it. We're here for it. Let's see. Let's see. Cool. Cool. And again, I encourage you guys, like, when you go back and watch, like, some of the combine stuff or whatever, like, his individual workouts, like, I know you're going to see him, like, dunking and stuff like that and doing other things. I know. I've watched it, like, live. I saw. Don't get, like, too, like, impressed and, like, thrown off by that stuff. It's pretty common skill. I sometimes forget when I'm making these videos that, like, most of you didn't, like, play or be around elite level basketball growing up. Like, it's just, it's not as, how am I trying to say this? Like, it's not as impressive as you might think it is, right? So just something to be in mind. Now, again, I'm not, like, hating on his game right now. I'm hating on, like he's playing fine basketball here. And, it's just, like, the team and, like, what's going on the court, like, is so rough right here, right? Like, just look at some of these passes. Like, it's just, come on, man. Here we go. All right, here we go. 8. Here we go. Here we go. Gonna try to break the zone again, but, like, we're not, everyone's just kind of standing around doing nothing. Like, there's just so little to grasp out of this. And that's what's unfortunate. Here we go. Good. Look what I found. The jumper's smooth. It's so smooth. It's so smooth. Cool. I'd like it to be, like, a little bit quicker if we could, but here we go. And, like, again, the fact that he's getting to use the ball right here is because he's the best player on the team, right? So, like, why wouldn't they do that? And at the NBA level, it's probably not going to happen. I love that he went straight up on that, played off 2. He looks very under control, which is nice. Like, he is, like, taking his time with the game. That's great. Give me those. He's got good balance. We like that. Jesus Christ. Hold the basketball. It happens. It happens. All right. All right, we're setting some off-ball screens, but we don't know how to run off them or catch the ball and run at the same time. All right, here we go. Interesting. Cool. Catch and shoot. Bang. We know he can shoot, right? We know he can shoot, and he likes to go to his post-up. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see a little pick and roll. I'd like to see a little pick and roll ball handler right here. I know he uses that a decent amount of the time. Here we go. Here we go. Great. That's what I want to see, right? That right there. Just being able to read this. Cool. Comes up, and he sees that this guy tried to go through this way. They kind of closed the door on him, so he stops in the right place. He doesn't finish the curl because it's a shorter distance for this guy to cover. He gets a wide open shot. That guy still tried to contest, even though the ball had left his hands 18 years ago, but whatever. Here we go. What are we doing here? Like, this stuff here. Like, go get the ball. Go get the ball, my guy. Thank you. Cool. Here we go. Just bring the ball up the court. Like, is it? I really just don't think like it's that hard. I used to love getting pressed. Like, I'm by you. I promise you, I'm by you. Here we go. Here we go. Great back door. Nobody sees it for whatever reason. What was number 3 watching? So 3 sees this guy right here. How does he not see this back door happening right here until the last possible second? Jesus Christ. Alrighty. Alrighty. Here we go. Missed the lay. That's mine. Just go right back up. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. It's pretty basic, y'all. It's pretty basic basketball being played, and his game itself, pretty basic overall. You know, he is getting a few assists a game and stuff, again, because he does do a lot of this pick-and-roll ball handler type stuff. What the hell is this? Jesus Christ. Oh, it's so hard watching this. What is he doing? Like, no contest whatsoever. It's just... Christ almighty. Here we go. Someone go get the basketball, please. Please. Good Lord. All right, cool. Everyone's floating around. Find our best player. Catch, shoot, bang. Bottoms. All right, all right, all right. Where are we at in the video? We're almost at the end of the video. Let's go. All right, we're running. We're running. Don't pass that basketball. Just step right into it. Cool. Again, we're not seeing crazy acceleration. No real elite athleticism on display. Just really good jump shooter. Really good jump shooter. And he's going to post up here. It's not really the prime time to do that, but it's okay. Again, I'm going to presume that he hasn't been taught great basketball so far. We saw what they were doing to Eastern Washington. Not that great. And now Washington State. Not all that much better. Here we go. Cool. He's just bigger and stronger than them. It's not really a big deal. Here we go. Just got a couple more to watch. Let's get through this. Let's get through this. I know I'm making it seem like this is absolutely agonizing, and it kind of is, but like I promise you, I'm not like hating on. I promise you, I'm not hating on like him. I'm just letting you know, like it's pretty basic what's going on out here, and it's clearly not really his fault. So you know, just kind of is what it is. Like look at this. Like all right, he just has to kind of do it all himself now. Here we go. Like, they have no fucking clue what they're doing out here. No clue. So he's like, well, shit, guess I got to do it myself. Tough-ass jumper. Bottoms. Cool. And that was the last time we saw him make a shot. That's Cedric Coward. Alrighty, Cedric Coward. Yeah, I know that was kind of rough to watch, and it kind of is. But again, it's not really his fault. So what do we know about this guy, right? Because he's a bit of a mystery man. He does look like he's in good shape. Like, I'll tell you that just having, like, seen him and everything now. Like, he's in good shape. He's ready to go. Like, he's going to be good for Summer League and everything. Like, that's great. Big, strong body, right? That's very cool. He does have, like, nice big hands, and like he seems like he can get up easily enough. Like getting to the rim and all that's not really going to be a part of his NBA game right away. I'm not sure it's ever really gonna be, but what is interesting is he's got good size. He is strong. Hopefully can be an okay defender. He doesn't have the best like lateral quickness in my opinion, and again I think there's a lot of just basketball he has to learn from not being at like some of the best organizations, but we've seen enough like coordination and athleticism and some okay ball handling out of him like at the combine and just like in certain drills he's been put in to where it's like, okay, there's something here, right? It's an option, and he just is an elite shooter, right? So a lot of teams are kind of under the idea with him that, okay, this guy at the baseline, just like at the bottom, is an elite shooter, right? And he's 6'6", and he's strong, and he's got like a pretty long wingspan and stuff like that. So we can do some stuff with that, right? We can do some stuff. Let's teach him how to play basketball. Let's get him running some off-ball screens and stuff like that, and just be like, hey, dude, catch, shoot, do your thing, right? Everything else, like the post-ups and all that, we're probably not letting you do right away, but hey, if you can come in, if you can rebound the basketball, shoot the basketball well, kind of be like a Josh Hart type of guy for us or something. I know Josh Hart doesn't shoot a ton of threes, but be like one of those bigger guards that can shoot the ball, get some rebounds, be an okay defender, well then cool. Yeah, that's solid. And this is an elite draft class. This is an interesting prospect. So I just wouldn't go in thinking this is Kawhi Leonard, right? There's nothing here that really screams that to me. I obviously anybody can become a stud or whatever because all these guys are really good at basketball, but Just kind of want to give my perspective on that. So, all right, let's talk about our big board then that we've been building throughout this series. So this is where it currently stands. You can pause and see all the players that we've kind of got on here. I will tell you, this is not what my actual big board looks like at this point. I'm just maintaining this one for the sake of the series and everything. You guys will get like a full big board from me before the draft, like what my actual one looks like. So you're going to see these guys shuffle around, but just seeing like where we have like other people, where do I want to put Cedric Coward? At least from where like I like him, like I like Neat Clifford a little bit more than him. And I like Cedric a little bit more than Will Riley, I feel like, though, just because of the shooting, I think is cool. So I think I'm going to put him at 18 for now, which is pretty good for a guy that only played 6 basketball games. Again, he is a bit of a mystery man, but hey, we've got 33 names on the board at this point. And I am doing some more videos. I'm actually about to record another one right after this because I'm doing a lot of traveling and stuff right now, just going to different workouts and such, so just know that that's all part of it. But I've got at least one more of these that I'm gonna do, maybe 2, potentially more, so we'll see, as other guys say they're sticking around, or other guys might be projected first round picks, but I'm gonna go record the other one right now. But as always, appreciate you guys. Let me know your comments down below as to what you think of him. As always, be mindful of the rules of the comments and everything, and yeah, let's move on to the comments of the video. Alrighty, y'all, comment of the video is coming from our Denver Nuggets ideal offseason video here. As always, go watch all the ideal off seasons. There's probably a bunch more out since or at the time that you guys are seeing this, and as always, show this video and the other Do They Fit in the NBA videos some love, just because they're probably demonetized, and the only reason we're doing them is because you guys give them views and support, so, and I like to do them, so it's totally worth it for me in that sense. But the comment to the video is coming from Teddy MLG Dog. That's just the most internet name ever, 4652. He says, love these videos so much. You explain a lot of the financial stuff really well, and I go into it within my explanation here. First of all, I appreciate it. It's very nice. I've been getting a lot of really nice comments lately that have been really, really cool to see. So thank you to all of you guys that have been doing that recently, especially as the channel's growing so much. But I mentioned in here, I'm like, I try not to go into like extreme financial detail in these videos because I still try to balance the entertainment of things, and I don't want to go into like every single little aspect of everything, and that's a tough balance. So I hope you guys can understand and appreciate that is a balance that I try to strike, and I'm not always perfect at it, but I appreciate the love as always, because again, there's been a lot of it recently. It's more and more people join the channel. There's going to be more kind of weirdos that trickle into these comments and such, and I tend to get rid of them pretty quickly just because I just don't have time to that. I know it hurts my videos or whatever to remove people, but I'd just rather have the good community. So thanks as always, you guys. I'll always pump the Discord right here. Go join it. Link is in the description. It's free. Go hop on there, talk some hoops with all of us on there. But yeah, I appreciate you guys as always, and hope you have a good week, because I think this is coming out on a Monday when you guys see this. But anyway, I appreciate you guys. Bye.